PeanutButter&Triggered. I'm Scott, joined by only one person today. My guy over here, Jay. Ben has died again, and Jay is dying.
Yes, I'm afraid to admit that it's true. I'm officially losing my voice, which is, I think, a symptom of dying, yeah?
Yeah, for 100% for sure. So he's nursing a little bit of a northwestern cold, you know?
Yeah, curse this northwestern weather.
Yeah, I know. Those beautiful days and kind of cold weather. But either way, the sickness is going around.
Are you down with the sickness?
No.
Why?
Are you down with the sickness?
I'm so down with the sickness right now. My voice has officially gone from, like, sexy and sultry to now sickly and disgusting and slimy.
Yeah, no one wants to pay for that.
I have to breathe through my mouth now.
Yeah.
It sounds like I'm about to cry, like, perpetually.
He might be sniffling a little bit, and he's drinking some tea here, so bear with us.
Eating Reese's Bats.
Yeah, we're both eating some Reese's Bats. Well, welcome in, everybody. Today, we don't have any really specific topics, per se. We're just going to be talking about some games. We're going to catch us up on Spiderman. Jay has an update.
Yeah, I have an update review.
And then we're going to talk a little bit. There's some interesting news, and then Jay's going to let me borrow Spiderman, so I'll be able to update you guys when I play through it. So. Okay.
So.
Wow, that sounds better, maybe. Higher quality, I don't know.
High quality, low price.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe it's just these headphones.
So I would like to start us off with some important news.
Oh yeah, I forgot about this.
Yeah, so I don't know if you heard about this. This is Britney news.
We need to get like some sort of Britney. It's Britney, bitch. Yeah, that's what we do.
Yeah.
It's like a little music thing, and then it goes, "It's Britney, bitch" at the end.
Yeah, we'll whip a little something up for y'all.
Something for you.
So Britney Spears might be engaged.
Oh snap! To who?
I know. To her, I guess, longtime boyfriend. I don't know how long they've been together. Maybe like a year or so. I don't know.
You just have no idea. You're just saying something.
He's just been there. I don't know how long. His name is Sam Asghari. Was one of her dancers. I think. She loves her dancers. He's actually been really good for her. He's gotten her back into shape and kind of reinvigorated her music career.
Wow, that's important.
But she has been spotted around town wearing a gigantic rock.
She would.
Yeah. So, sorry, Scott. She's going to be officially off the market soon. So, all hope be lost.
A crackhead.
Hey, you better look out when you say stuff like that. She's not a crackhead anymore.
That's what you'd think.
Yeah, speaking of crackheads, Christina Aguilera has actually been on record saying that she would be open for, recording a song with Britney, bitch.
You have to say bitch after every Britney, for sure.
Yeah.
Every time I hear Britney, bitch, I think of that episode of The Office where he pulls up and he's coming back to the office for the first time, Steve Carell, and he's like, "It's Britney, bitch." If you haven't watched The Office, go watch it. But, yeah, really, that would be interesting, I guess. I probably wouldn't listen to it because to be honest, could care less about either of those people.
No, I'd listen to it just to see what it sounds like.
The only thing I care about Christina Aguilera is how once a year I get to hear "All I Want for Christmas is You."
Isn't that Mariah Carey?
Oh, maybe it is.
Yeah.
Maybe it is. Doesn't she sing one of them?
Maybe. But the famous one's Mariah Carey.
Yeah, you're probably right. I don't care about either of them.
Oh. So that's it for Britney, bitch.
Yeah. We have a couple things about both Fortnite and PUBG. This is episode 20. I forgot to say this.
Yeah. Thank
you, everyone who's listened. I guess we're kind of going full circle here because the first episode was about PUBG and Fortnite, and we have more information about PUBG, Fortnite, some interesting things.
This is our venti, bitch.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, that sounds terrible.
That's okay. I forgive you.
God damn it. No, my voice.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I forgive you. No, his voice fine. The mic's just horrible.
Yeah. No, that's opposite. The mic is fine. My voice is horrible. By the end of this episode, my voice is gonna be my entire esophagus is gonna be in pain.
Yeah, that won't be good.
Yeah.
Well, first off, Fortnite. There's a couple interesting things about Fortnite. First off, Fortnite. Let's see here. Let me pull up my phone. Sorry, Fortnite. They released a Monopoly Fortnite. So Fortnite Monopoly, Twisted Towers, all that fun stuff. It's like I'm not a huge Fortnite fan, but it's like Fortnite in an even more boring game. Like, to me, Monopoly is the most boring game out there.
How dare you?
Other than Trouble or Parcheesi. Ooh, horrible.
Wait. Okay, wait. You're putting Monopoly in the same vein as Trouble.
Yeah.
As in, it's fun getting into trouble.
Yeah.
And Parcheesi.
Yes. That game is based on luck a lot of the time, and
No, dude, there's strategy. You got to get the railroads.
Yeah, I know, but how are you going to get the railroads? You have to just. A lot of times people won't sell them to you, or I'm just saying it's a very long game, and about like hour 2.5, you're like, okay, I'm done with it. But either way, there's a Fortnite.
Maybe you just suck at
Monopoly.
I know you're
probably
awesome at Risk.
I know. I just slapped him at Risk earlier today. But anyway, yeah. So I mean, that's kind of cool. Another Fortnite interesting piece of news, which I find to be even more interesting. This is off Kotaku, so I have to cite them, a William Hughes article.
Can you yell Kotaku?
Kotaku! Yes, I guess. So it's written by William Hughes, so I gotta give credit where credit's due. The heading is Fortnite has now been cited in more than 20 divorce proceedings. And it's basically talking every few years there's a gaming obsession that causes divorces, and the current one is Fortnite. World of Warcraft, when they release a new expansion sometimes, all that fun kind of stuff. So people are getting divorced.
Who would have guessed that there were that many 13-year-olds getting married?
I know, right? Actually, I don't
even play that game anymore. That game's whack.
Yeah, it amazes me how many people have really gotten into it. There is a huge... Obviously, when we first started this podcast, Fortnite was nowhere near where it is today.
Right.
It was getting popular, but we were comparing it straight across to PUBG. Now, Fortnite's like a phenomenon.
Yeah, I do get it, but at the same time, I struggle to get it because it's so repetitive.
Yeah.
How can it be that fun?
I guess it's just a lot of fun. And the funny thing is so many people who don't understand or know what the game's name is get it wrong. Like, people call it Fork Knife. Like, I was reading a Reddit post where, I think we've talked about this, where a lady came into GameStop and was like, I want to buy Fork Knife for my nephew. And they're like, Fork Knife? Fortnite? And she's like, no, Fork Knife. I want it now. And she got really upset with him. And he's like, A, you're talking about Fortnite. And B, it's free. You don't have to buy it. And she got really mad and stormed out. But I went to my sister-in-law's house, and she's like, have you ever heard of Forsyth? Jesus. And I was like, Forsyth? It took me a second, and it clicked. I was like, oh, Fortnite.
This would be an excellent opportunity for those skeezy, Android developers to come out with, a cheap ripoff called Fork Knife.
They probably already have. I can only imagine.
Yeah. And it'll just load your phone with, ads and stuff. Jesus Christ.
Watch an ad in order to fire your gun. But, yeah.
So, its main competitor, PUBG, is in the news right now?
Yep.
You hear about this?
You told me a little bit about it, but go on.
So, it's being downgraded for Xbox One right now.
Why? Because Xbox can't handle it?
Well, no, I don't know if it's anything specific right now, but I think that has something to do with it. It's just not a nicely packaged...
It's not optimized well.
Yeah. It's supposed to be a PC game.
Yeah, it is, and they just released, officially it got released, I think, last week. Actually 1.0 released.
And this is what they do. It's basically mobile on Xbox One.
It looks so shitty, and from what I understand, it's not easy to play on Xbox. It's kind of goofy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mouse and keyboard is... I know a lot of people can't use it, but if you break it down, it is the best kind of control style. Mostly, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why before you go, whoa.
I was about to. You saw my finger.
With a keyboard, you can do a lot more at the same time than you can with a controller. You can crouch. You can lay down while you're leaning. You can do all of it because think about under your left hand when you're on the WASD, how many buttons you have at your disposal. So if I want to go to my grenade at the same time I'm laying down and crouching, you can. You can actually do that. And while you're moving and aiming as well. Whereas with the controller, your right thumbstick, when you want to reload or if you want to crouch, you have to move your finger off the control stick and hit X, So it's a better control style for the professionals.
Leave your stupid comments in your pocket.
Okay, that's fine.
I make solid arguments. You're right.
Sure. Yeah. No, that's fine. I'm just not very skilled with it. That's
a lot of people aren't.
Yeah, and that's the only reason why I don't prefer it.
I'm actually better with the controller. I admit it. When I play Battlefield on PlayStation, I am better than I am on computer. Although that might be because the people are better on computer too, but I think I'm better.
Okay, all right. People are better on computer?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I do, 100%. But anyway.
So, at any rate, PUBG is being downgraded on Xbox One. Although I think it's been on Xbox One for a bit now.
It's pre-release. It was like it was like maybe the first time they did one of the pre-beta kind of tests where you can buy the game. But yeah.
Let's see. What else is in the news?
I have more too, if you don't.
Yeah, go ahead.
Believe it or not, still one of the most, every month it's in the top 10 sales on the sales charts. It's 5 years after this game's come out, and it's still in the top 10 consistently, and it's still relevant. Grand Theft Auto 5.
Fuck.
Grand Theft Auto 5 turns 5 years old today, which is amazing. You can still go back and play that game, and it's still impressive to this day. It's still really good.
Bruh.
It really is.
It really is, and they've done such a good job of trickling out content that you don't actually have to purchase. I mean, you can, but
but it's like impossible to like get enough money to be able to get all of the the pieces of the DLC.
That's how they get it. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta spend money on those shark cards, homie.
Yeah, for sure. But that in itself is impressive, and the fact that people are still going back and playing. I mean, me and Jay have talked about starting up a gang on Grand Theft Auto. I mean, I've been through my cycles, but I think it'd be fun. It's impressive. Rockstar, I think, is the king of creating games. So
I mean, I think they're unrivaled at this point.
Unrivaled, yeah.
I think
maybe Sony Santa Monica.
Only other developers that have had like consistently like good reviews would be like Bethesda.
Bethesda's good. I think even Bethesda's on a lower tier. What about like Naughty Dog?
Naughty Dog puts out quality material.
Yeah.
Except for the hell was it? No. That never mind. I'm thinking of a different
but like
developer.
But Grand Theft Auto's on another level. Like The Last of Us, a great game. Last of Us, great game. God of War, amazing game.
Yeah.
But you're not going to be playing it for 5 years. You know what I'm saying? You're going to play it. You might come back to it, maybe even once a year at most. But Grand Theft Auto is like still pumping out content. Consistent. And it's really good. So many guns, and they do weekly events. Like I remember they had one for the 4th of July where you got a musket and like a firework launcher, or during the winter it was snowball fights, and the whole city was under snow.
I hate the snow in Grand Theft Auto. It's really tough to maneuver.
Yeah, for sure. But it's cool.
Especially because I have really fast cars and stuff.
Yeah, always.
And they don't handle very well.
No, they don't.
Not even the all-wheel drive ones.
I always took a Charger in that game.
Oh, that's weak.
Always a Buffalo. FIB Buffalo is always my favorite.
You got to get the Karumas, man. The armored Karuma.
What's a Karuma?
Basically like a Mitsubishi Evo 10.
You know what was always my favorite, and I think the best car was always the Sentinel, which is like a BMW.
Yeah, they released the classic Sentinel, the one that looks like the E30 BMW, and it's actually really fast.
That's dope.
Yeah,
it's so cool.
One. I love it.
Monster trucks, G-Wagons for days and days and days.
The other car that they came out with was called like I can't remember what it was called. It was like a death wagon or something like that. But it's like an old like Lincoln, a giant Lincoln that's like armored, and it has like a brush guard, and it looks like something came out of Mad Max.
See, that's awesome. That's what they're doing so well that 5 years later people are still playing that game. And I like just talking about it right now, I want to play that game. What other games came out 5 years ago that you want to play?
None.
Maybe Skyrim?
Oh yeah, no, that definitely.
Yeah.
I still play that.
Yeah, Skyrim probably, which is Bethesda.
So many quests that I haven't done.
Never ends. And if you play the modded version, it's even worse. Like in terms of how much content there is. I have in Skyrim I had the modded version where you actually had your own giant house in the sky, basically Valhalla.
Nice.
And you could go up there, and I remember there's so much to do in there, and it wasn't even part of the actual game. So it was really dope. But yeah. That aside, there's do you have any other news? I might have one more thing, but that's pretty much it.
What about or are you going to move on to what the hell was it? Call of Duty and Battlefield.
I will, yeah. I definitely want to talk about that stuff.
Yeah. Feel free.
So I think that There's one more thing I want to talk about news. Again from Kotaku, a dad got his toddler to climb inside a prize machine and steal Nintendo consoles. So he's wanted right now. Like it's like a claw machine.
That's kind of savage. Where the claw is your child.
So aspiring parents, take notes. You can get free Nintendo consoles.
They're coming for my kids.
There you go. Rest in peace, Ben.
Yeah, rest in peace.
But yeah, I guess the main portion of this is I played Battlefield 5 now. I got to play a little Black Ops. And then Jay really wanted to update his Spiderman review.
Yeah, I got a lot to get off my chest.
So I guess we'll start with I got to play Call of Duty Black Ops. I played the Battle Royale mode. And surprised with it was very polished. Very surprised with how good it was compared to what I thought it would be. Traditionally, Call of Duty is a max of like 16 players. This is an 80-player experience, so it's very large. Other cool things about it is the map's huge. It's the biggest map in Call of Duty history, and in the map it has smaller maps from Black Ops games like Firing Range, Nuketown, and
the classics.
Yeah, the classics. And lastly, there's zombies in the map as well. So you're fighting other players, and you're fighting zombies too, which is another cool addition.
Are the zombies bots?
Yeah.
Dude, that's genius.
Yeah. So, and you can get like did you ever play zombies?
Yeah, of course.
You remember the ray gun? If
you
go into the zombies' place and kill, you can find the ray gun, and then you can use it to fight other people. Do
you get that one that like I forget what the hell it's called that like shoots like a hurricane out of it?
I don't know. I don't know if you do or not.
A giant gust of wind comes out of it. It's so dope.
That'd be dope. Well, also the other things you can get is you can get the monkey that claps, clap, clap, clap. Then you can get RC cars. The most interesting thing they did is the perk system. So you can find perks on the ground just like any other battle royale. And it's a little box, and basically you can equip it, and you get it for like 2 minutes. So you'll get like movement speed, quiet, juggernaut for like 2 minutes, which is kind of a cool way to do the perks. Because I had like, no joke, I had like 7 perks on at once.
Yeah, so I know the Battle Royale is kind of like a dying sort of mode now because so many people are doing it.
They're making like fun of it. I don't think it's dying, but it's definitely being made fun of.
But I think they're kind of innovating their own little sort of iteration of
they're finding their niche.
Royale. Yeah.
I think that a lot of people were really upset there's no single player campaign, and they felt like they were getting kind of gypped out of it. I think that that's going to be a game seller. It's just that Battle Royale alone, which is, I guess it's pretty cool. I mean, I'm not going to buy that game, but I might rent it and play the Battle Royale.
So it wasn't worth you buying it?
Dude, no, $60, and that's for the base one. Who knows? I'm sure that you have to buy the DLC as one whole big chunk. So when they release more maps and stuff, you won't be able to play them. Like, I'm not about that. I just can't commit to that, even if it's a kind of cool game.
So what was the gameplay like specifically? Like, what if I'm like in the middle of a field? Do I have to worry about dying instantly? No.
The interesting thing about the new Black Ops, traditionally Call of Duty has a really short kill time. You aim, you fire, it's quick. Like, it's all snap. It's kind of that way still. It still has the same aiming, which is really smooth. I mean, you have to give it to Call of Duty. Their first-person shooters are always really clean in the way they work. But in this, it takes like freaking 20 shots to kill people. It's crazy. Yeah. I walked in and I fired 6 shotgun shells at a dude in the room. I changed to like my machine gun and shot 30 at him. I didn't hit him with everything, but I hit him with a lot. And actually reloaded, and he was shooting me at the same time. I'd say it takes maybe 8 to 10 shots to kill someone, whereas like traditionally Call of Duty is like 3 or 4, and sometimes more if they have armor. You're shooting into them like for days.
Jesus.
Yeah. That's different.
That part seems to make it a little bit more fun in certain respects, like because you're not going to get like killed immediately.
Yeah.
But then it's super frustrating, especially if you're in a room with somebody and you're like maybe the last person is down to like who has like the larger capacity.
Yeah, and you're just sitting there shooting each other for days, which is kind of like, I don't know. It was just kind of different for sure.
Yeah.
Also, you fly in with a wingsuit. So
that's dope.
Get it basically in Fortnite or PUBG. Usually, you fly in, but it's like you can't get everywhere. Whereas in this, you can get to pretty much anywhere in the map from any flight. It seemed like like any way the plane was going over, you could get to any part of the map, and you get there quick. Like you jump out and you're basically on the ground like 5 seconds later. It's so quick. So that's kind of interesting.
Is it too quick though? Because like sometimes when I'm like jumping out and parachuting down, like I like to be able to have like last second changes, because if I notice like a group of people are going to a certain spot on the map, maybe I might change my mind and go to a quieter spot.
Yeah,
to
I don't think
more weapons.
I don't think you'd be able to like slow down and change.
Oh wow!
And the map's not really that big, so I think you're going to be fighting almost no matter what.
Okay.
I tried to jump into places I figured there wouldn't be anybody, and there's consistently people. Consistently people around. So I think no matter what in that, you're fighting. And like I think PUBG's at the far spectrum where the games take the longest. Then there's Fortnite. Call of Duty is a quick game. The game ends very quickly. There's also helicopters. That's completely different from any other one. Any other?
So you call in airstrikes?
No, like there'll be a helicopter sitting there when you land, and you can just jump in it and fly around.
Oh, what the hell?
There's also rocket launchers. That's a little bit different. So there's more vehicles, flying vehicles specifically.
I would have never guessed.
Which creates a new kind of, like you'll see someone flying in on a helicopter. That's different from other battle royales. So, yeah. I don't know. I think it's pretty good compared to other games in the same genre. For what I expected, it's better than what I expected. Let's say that.
Okay, well, I mean that's good. We'll take it for what it's worth, and I don't know, maybe give us more if you end up renting it.
Yeah, well, I will.
Cool. Now, what was the other game that you want to talk about?
Oh, Battlefield 5. So, compared to Battlefield 5 and my experiences with that, Battlefield 5, a lot of people are really bitching that they don't like this game. And maybe I'm the wrong person, because I'm a huge Battlefield fan. So I played it, and I did really enjoy it. The one thing that they did really change, and they're really focusing on, unlike Call of Duty, is they're focusing on team play. For example, it used to be the only person who could revive someone is a medic. So you had to be a medic to revive anybody. Well, now, regardless if you're a medic or not, you can revive squad mates. So it's like if you play as a squad and you play well as a squad, you can revive squad mates. If you're not a medic, it takes longer. It takes like 4 or 5 seconds as opposed to like 1 second.
Which is like pretty cool because it's like it adds a bit of realism to it.
Yeah, and also it makes it so medic is still important to your squad.
Definitely.
And I think I talked about the last time, you can actually build up the map, which is fun. So,
yeah.
So I will be probably buying Battlefield. There's a lot of games coming out this next month in October. We have Red Dead, which is definitely my number one.
Now, do we know if there's going to be an online mode for Red Dead, or is it going to be just campaign?
They haven't announced it. I have to believe they would have one.
God, I would hope
Which
so.
reminds me, you remember the Mexican shootouts?
No.
Did you play Red Dead Redemption 1?
No, I'm actually going in not playing any Red Dead games.
So you'll think this is cool.
Why? Because I'm Hispanic?
No, because this is cool.
Oh.
When in the old Red Dead game, when you started any multiplayer match, it started as a Mexican shootout. So it was literally 5-on-5, and both teams are aiming at each other, like at the start of. And then as soon as it goes go, everyone just starts shooting, and then maybe 2 people actually get out alive and can run in the map, and then everyone starts respawning. But
that's rad.
It starts with, and it would say Mexican shootout, and everybody would have their guns in their holsters, and you're like looking at the other team, and it goes go, and you start shooting as quick as possible.
Please tell me it has like really cool spaghetti western music in the background.
Maybe, I don't remember. It had, dude, Red Dead had one of the best soundtracks. You have an Xbox, right? You should see if you can get yourself a copy of Red Dead. It's probably cheap on Xbox 360.
Yeah, might as well.
I mean, it's a cool game, definitely. Imagine Grand Theft Auto 4 in the West. But, yeah, so I hope they bring that back. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited for it because I know that everybody that we work with wants to have a gang.
Yeah, a posse.
Yeah, posse.
Yeah, I hope they do stuff like they're doing Grand Theft Auto 5 and Red Dead. Like,
where they'll, like, trickle out some, like...
Trickle out content.
Yeah.
I hope they do that.
Like really cool guns or like really cool like missions and bounties and stuff.
Exactly, yeah. It's hard because there's not quite as much like the Grand Theft Auto's cars. There's no cars. Well, maybe there'll be like old cars.
No, I think it's gonna be a lot of like carriages and like horses.
Which also was really fun is to go off-roading in your carriages, stuff like that. The other thing people used to do is they go full speed on their horse, and then believe it or not, they'd shoot their horse in the back of the head and fly forward off their horse.
That sounds kind of fun.
Yeah. Kind of sad, but kind of fun.
Oh, yeah. It's sad for the horse, but, it's digital. So.
Yeah, it's digital. But yeah, that's the game I'm really excited about.
What about Fallout 76? You're not excited anymore?
Dang, man, it's so hard. 3 games that are being released. Battlefield 5, Fallout 76, Red Dead. And Battlefield 5 now in October. So that's 4 games. I budget 1 game a month. That's my little budget.
Are you going to have to make an exception?
Well, actually, I didn't buy a game this month. So I'm saving... so I can buy 2 of the 4 games. It's really hard. Fallout 76 looks really cool, but also just the way I have to play games now with my son, it's not really conducive to a lot of online stuff, which Fallout 76 is exclusively online.
Just let your son do his own thing.
Yeah, good idea. Especially now he's crawling.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
He can take care of himself.
Yeah, he can figure it out. But so
that's what my mom did. Look how I am.
Yeah. Look what happened to you with your hair.
What's wrong with my hair?
Nothing.
Okay.
But Battlefield 5 and Red Dead. I think are going to be my 2 games. Wow, I'm yawning. It's getting late here.
So
already 8.
I guess that brings us to our next segment. I was wrong.
He was wrong about
God, I was
Spider-Man.
wrong. You know what?
The hype was real?
No, it wasn't entirely real.
Okay.
Because I think I gave it like a C+, right?
Yeah.
I'm giving it a B.
Wow. Well, is your grading system like mine? Like, my grading system, I do 1 through 10.
No, it's not.
But
Like
only the perfect game will get a 10. There's
No.
like very few 10s.
No.
So you just give A's to everything you kind of like.
No. I specifically grade on a grading scale because you say that there can't be a perfect 10, but
No,
I
I
can
say
give
there
out
can
A
be.
pluses. I
There
give
can
out
be.
A pluses because I think there's like 9.5s all over the place.
But then what's a 10 if that's an A+?
What's an A plus? A plus is a 9.5 and up.
Oh, and up. Well, I think there should be some designation here.
Well, no, I specifically go on a grading scale.
Okay.
So I give it a B.
Okay. So
It's
that's
like an 8.
A B is above average?
A B is an 8.
Okay. Above average. A 5 is average.
No, a 5 is an F.
No, but that's... See? This is what I'm saying. The grading scale's all screwed up. You never use 1 through 3 or 4.
No, that's why I like the grading scale, because you don't want an F, you don't want a D, you're okay with the C, maybe. B's are cool,
But
and A's are great.
Yeah. So it's an 8. So that's okay.
No, see, this is why I don't like doing the numbers, because you put too much thought into the numbers. So, I give it a B.
Okay.
It originally had a C+.
Okay. So
The reason why-
1.5 grades.
Yes. Or no, I gave it a C-, that's what it was, wasn't
Okay.
it?
So borderline D.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I gave it a C.
Well, whatever
Or
it
a
was.
C+. I don't think it was that
It's
bad.
at a B.
Okay.
And the biggest reason is because I found out that my PlayStation was the cause of all of my web slinging errors.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so you can't always blame the game. It's got to be the hardware sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. You have a regular PlayStation, not a Pro, right?
And that's correct.
Well, I'm excited to get it because now, like I said, he's letting me borrow this. I'm excited to get into this. Here at work, we have kind of a, like, I don't even know what to call it, but we're rotation. When
It's like a
someone gets
library.
so yeah, we almost like were tempted to actually have a library just at work where people could grab it, which is actually
It's like a brotherhood of the traveling games.
yeah. Well, I'm number 2 for Spider-Man. Currently, my God of War is out. I think my Last of Us is currently out. So Spider-Man, I'm going to get Spider-Man first, and I'm excited to play it. So you beat it or not?
I've beaten the game. I haven't like done all the side missions yet, but
Yeah.
I've done the bulk of the game.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know if I should give out any spoilers.
Probably not. There's probably a lot of people.
Well, you
it
just
doesn't
said
matter
that
to
because
me.
Oh, really?
Honestly, I could care less. Like, I think that I'm not really into the Spider-Man universe, so I'm more interested.
Okay, I'm gonna give out spoilers.
Okay.
Then. This is your moment of warning.
Yeah.
So, spoiler alert. The game is set in a completely different universe.
Oh.
So, yes, it is Spider-Man. Yes, you do have all of his enemies and everything. But it's set as if Spider-Man had been Spider-Man for 8 years in a completely different universe than, like, say, the Ultimate or the Amazing Universe. So, in this one, Norman Osborn is the mayor. Dr. Octopus is not Dr. Octopus yet. You're actually working for him in a lab. Mary Jane and Spider-Man have broken up, and Aunt May is working for Mr. Negative, unknowingly Mr. Negative. the reason why I think this is super cool is because it sets up several different elements of the story that will be coming out as DLCs. Actually, next month, apparently. And,
oh, wow, that quick.
Yeah, so I'm making a big, huge sacrifice in having you play this game because I'm going to have to play these DLCs later. These DLCs kind of tease at the Black Cat. They tease at Norman Osborn, or not Norman, but Harry Osborn being Venom. Mm-hmm. They tease at Norman Osborn, claiming his Green Goblin throne.
So they're teasing, like, oh, hey, this is going to probably happen.
Yeah, Peter Parker might not even be Spider-Man in this next upcoming DLC.
Really?
It might be Miles Morales.
Who's that?
Some kid that ends up getting Spider-Man's powers.
Oh, okay. So who do you play as then?
You play as Peter Parker.
Oh.
Actually, the other cool thing about the game, and this is actually kind of annoying too, is that you don't always play as Peter Parker during this game. You play as Mary Jane Watson.
I did hear, like, for sneaking sections and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And same thing with Miles Morales. You get to play as Miles Morales. So the game is actually pretty thoughtful and it's actually pretty good. The only thing is, and this is why I still give it a B, it is so unbelievably repetitive.
That's what I mean. It's hard with superhero games. It's the same way with
kind of.
Batman was kind of repetitive as well.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure.
I mean, there's parts of it. You played through the Arkham games.
Yeah, but the cool thing about the Arkham games is like it had a story that just kept moving.
Yeah,
this one there's so many different side missions and side things that you got to do, and then there are so many pieces of like tokens, tokens that you need to collect to build these suits. That makes you waste your time on something as petty as stopping like a carjacking.
Yeah, I did hear a lot about that. Are the suits cool?
That's my other fucking axe to grind is these suits. They're cool, but I feel like you get so many different versions of the same damn thing. And then, honestly, like, some of the suits that they picked are kind of dumb. And some people might like them more than the others, but, like, they don't have the iconic, the symbiote suit, the black suit. Uh-huh. They don't have the Mark I version of the armored suit. They don't have the Dr. Octopus suit. They don't have...
So they don't have some key ones.
They don't have iconic suits. They do have some iconic suits, but they wasted their time with like a suit that's basically Peter Parker with his mask on in his underwear, or his homemade suit from the stupid Homecoming, or the Civil War suit from the movie. Like, I don't give a shit about the movie suits. I'm a comic book fan. I want to see the iconic suits. And then, even at that point, the perks that you get for some of those suits are versions of the same thing.
Oh, okay.
Like, there's one that releases an EMP, and then there's another one that releases, like, an electrical field. Which is like, okay, alright.
Do you think that maybe it's more of trying to be a service to, like, the fans who have watched the movies as opposed to the true comic book fans, or do you think it's somewhere in the middle?
Yeah, I think that it's specifically trying to do homage to the movies and the comic books. Inadvertently, I think that they just focus too much on trying to pay each their sort of service. You know what I mean? Like, there are other things that they could have focused on.
It's a hard line because, I mean, a lot of people are going to be like, oh, man, I want the Homecoming suit. I want the Civil War suit. Yeah. But there's a lot of people like you who are like, I don't give a shit about those. I want the, what do you say, the Amazing Spider-Man one or whatever.
Yeah. So my friend Kevin.
Mr. Lonely?
No, that's my cousin. My friend Kevin, he's more of a fan of the movies. He doesn't really read the comics. And he actually prefers to see the ones that he's familiar with, like the Homecoming suit, or like the Iron Spider suit from the movie.
See, that's what I'd probably be interested in.
Yeah, see, so you're like the same way. And then the other thing that I thought that they kind of did is they blew their wad on all the suits that comic book nerds like myself wouldn't necessarily care about. And the villains that they chose are somewhat questionable.
Like, are lesser known, was that what you're saying? Or just less interesting?
Less interesting and maybe lesser known to some. Like, are you familiar with Mr. Negative?
No.
Okay, well...
I haven't read any of the comic books. I watched it when I was a kid, but it's been like a long time, so I'm not well versed at all in Spider-Man.
But on the other hand, they do have Scorpion, Rhino, Vulture, Electro, Dr. Octopus. but for like a hot second.
Just,
So
yeah.
it is what it is.
Maybe they're building into it or something.
I think this is just the baseline for a lot of the DLC that's going to be coming out.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's good to know that you increase it. So, gameplay-wise, it's decent other than the fact it's repetitive?
Gameplay-wise, it's amazing, and it's actually interesting to see like some of the new moves that you unlock as you like build your skill tree. They're super intuitive. I thought that as you accumulated more moves, the button combinations were going to be absolutely outrageous. It's super intuitive. You just get it right away.
Well, I guess the number one question that's on everybody's mind is it fun to swing around? Because you have to get that perfect. It has to be fluid and kind of fun, but I feel like it can't be too easy either.
You know what? I think I'm going to go back on that as well. You don't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be fluid. Now, there are benefits of being fluid and perfect because
maybe faster or something.
Yeah, because you gain speed, you gain perks. There are also side missions where you need to be fast and you need to be precise to be able to unlock some of those suits. So for a lot of people that don't necessarily have their timing down, it's going to be really difficult to tackle some of those Taskmaster side missions where you have to like chase a drone or get to bombs at a certain time.
Okay.
So, I mean, all in all, the game is good.
Well, that's good to know.
The hype is mostly real.
Mostly real?
It's mostly real.
Well, now you know, everybody. Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man. Spider-Man's a B, and I liked it, and I'm eager to find out what other sort of DLC comes out, because, again, my grade could change with the DLC. The DLC could make the game even better.
Make or break it. Well, not break it.
I don't think it'll break it at all. I think if anything, it'll just be like, okay, cool. It's some of the same stuff that I'm used to already. It's still a B.
Yeah. Well, cool. I think that's a really good to go over. Where are we at on time?
36.
Okay. I think we're going to be doing a couple shorter episodes tonight. I don't know. Is there anything else you'd like to talk about, I guess, before I cut us off?
No. I think that's it for me.
I think that's it for me, too.
I think we need to definitely give some long overdue shout-outs.
For sure. Shout out Patrick Robbie, like always.
Yeah, for sure. And shout out to Ben's mom.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ben. God rest his soul.
Ben himself, who is apparently out doing open mics tonight.
Oh, hey, we wish you all the best of luck, Ben.
Now, the trouble that Ben has, is, as many of you might be able to figure out, is Ben doesn't really censor himself. Ben is he doesn't really care if you get triggered or not, like legitimately.
Yeah.
So his jokes that he does tell, because he is a comedian, aren't politically correct. That's for sure.
And I kind of agree with Ben on this. I don't think you should have to censor comedy.
Correct. Comedy's
there are places
comedy.
where you don't go, and there's places that you do go. But to say that something is unjokeable, is wrong.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I think that there's things that are distasteful for sure that might be like, I don't know if we should talk about that. But it's comedy. I think that if there's one place in the world where you are allowed to be politically incorrect and people shouldn't take it personally, it's comedy. And unfortunately, we live in the Portland area. Portland is very, very liberal. And so Ben has a little bit of trouble, according to him, getting sometimes people get triggered. So.
Oh, is that his issue?
Well, no, I don't think that's all his issue, but it bothers him because, he goes up on these things where literally, he sent me this thing today where a lady posted, straight white males, need not apply, basically, which is sexist and racist in itself, but.
Yeah, that is a thing. I mean, there is kind of a disparagingly amount of, there's not a lot of women in comedy out here in Portland, and then it's just a thing. But whatever. Ben will be successful. He's a funny guy.
Yeah.
So with that being said, shout out to Javad.
Yeah.
Shout out to Brandon Koch. Shout out to Panda. Shout out to AC. Shout out to Triple Option.
Yeah, shout out to Triple Option, which big announcement. You want to break the news here?
Oh, I don't know about that.
I'm going to break the news here. First and foremost, our guy Jay Eastwood will now be a featured main guy on Triple Option Sports.
Yeah, I'm going to be your main dude on there.
So that's pretty cool. Highly recommend you go listen to that. I don't know when they're starting that up, but
Actually, I shouldn't say I'm going to be the main dude on there.
not the main dude. He's going to be one of the 3 dudes. He's replacing one of the people on it. That should be interesting. Definitely worth listening to.
Yeah. And also shout out to Brandon Koch. Word on the street is you're a huge fan of Ben and PBT. So
who's Brandon Koch?
Brandon Koch is one of the people that works with my girlfriend and used to work with Ben, and also he will be creating his own podcast. I hope I'm not premature in saying this, but he will have his own podcast called Coke in the Morning.
Wow. Okay, yeah, listen for that if it ever comes out.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people say that they're going to make a podcast and they don't. So
yeah. So thank you very much, and have a pleasant tomorrow.
Have a pleasant tonight as well. Bye.
My fucking throat hurts so bad.
All right.
God damn it.